Hi everyone, how are you? Today I'm going to talk about the sound of awe. Awe is the sound of creation, as in God, Buddha, Allah, Krishna. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's the sound in most deities' name, the sound of awe is the sound of creation. I'm going to tell you about how you can use that sound to manifest things that you're wanting. Say that you require, I always say require because need implies lack, you require $3,000. You would do the ah, and then in your head you would think, as long as you could maintain the sound, I say a minimum of 3 times at least. Go longer if you can stand it, however long you can hold the sound for. And in my head, I'd go, oh, and in my head, I would be thinking, I have $3,000 or better. Always caveat or better because you don't want to limit the generosity. You know, you require 3,000, but 5,000 might be even better in your life. So you would be in your head thinking, I have $3,000 or better, and you'd be making that sound as you ran that thought through your head in a repetitive manner, minimum of 3 times saying it. So that's why it's you should be careful how long a sentence you say for what you're wanting to manifest for yourself. Say you're wanting to manifest, you're a graphic designer and you want to manifest yourself a job. I have a job as a graphic designer working in web design for such and such company, doing such and such at such and such hours. That might get exhaustive and hard to say as you're making the awe sound 3 times in your head. So it's kind of best to keep the sentences shorter, or if there's more than one thing you're wanting to manifest, do shorter versions of them. Split it up. Also, on manifesting and bringing things into your life, it's always better. Don't say don't, not, never. Don't say negatives. Always say I am a. Do not say I do not have a problem with money, because your subconscious doesn't hear the do not, and all it'll hear is I have a problem with money. So you would say, I have all the prosperity I need. I have all my bills paid. I have all that I need to provide for myself, or however it is that you're wanting to, what you're wanting to manifest. So as you're thinking about what you want to say, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll really sit down and think it through and write out the sentences and have them in my head. That way I have them in my head and I can simplify them and make sure I don't have any negatives in them. And then I do the awe sound. And as I do the awe sound, I repeat it at minimum 3 times in my head. I generally try to go as long as I can make the sound without running out of breath. So, however long you can maintain that. So take a deep breath and do it for as long as you can stand it. And then in your mind, think through the sentences of what it is that you want to create for yourself. Whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. I also find that it is better to do it when you're home alone or in your car, because people get real crabby about you making that sound a lot, because I tend to find that the louder you make it, the better it works. So, do it when you're by yourself at home, do it in your car when nobody cares that you're making that sound. Even if the people driving next to you are like, what is she doing? It's okay. They don't know and it doesn't matter. So, remember, the ah sound, shorten your sentences so that you can repeat them as much as possible, minimum of 3 times in your head as you make the sound. And you can do, if you've got several things, you can do a set of ah for one part, then the next part, then the next part. And so, keep it as simple as possible. No negative words, usually by yourself, or if, somebody is not going to be able to hear you, or in your car. I find it's pretty cool to do it in your car a lot, because it's not a lot of distractions. Yes, you're driving, but you can focus on repeating that thought in your head. Turn off the radio, of course, so it's silent. anyway, it's just one of the ways that I use to manifest. So I hope that helps. Have a great day. Thank you.